Welcome to this new video on music theory. You're probably watching this because you are taking the video course available at corsoditrombo.com. But if not, I'm Davide, and in this video I'll explain everything you need to know to identify the key of a piece of music. The first step is to understand the possible keys. Yes, you heard that right. Possible keys, because just looking at the key signature doesn't always tell you the exact key of the piece. But let's go step by step. First of all, you need to take a look at the top left corner of the staff at the beginning of the piece. You will find a series of accidentals. These are called sharps or flats. Depending on how many sharps or flats are present in the key signature, you can determine the possible keys of the piece. So, if you already know how to do this, feel free to skip ahead using the chapters. If not, here is a very simple method. There is a very straightforward rule. Imagine like a clock. Instead of numbers, we are going to place musical notes on this imaginary clock, just as you see here over screen. First of all, we want to start with some musical notes. Specifically, we are going to start with the F at the top. Now there is a specific order for sharps and a specific order for flats. For sharps, we use the ascending fifths order, perfect fifth interval. So let's just put this into practice. Starting from F, we are gonna count up a perfect fifth. F, G, A, B, C. So we place the C as the second note on our imaginary clock. From the C, now count another perfect fifth. So it will be C, D, E, F, G. So G is our fourth note. And then again, from the G, we're gonna count another fifth. So it will be G, A, B, C, D, and D is the fourth note. And then D, E, F, G, A is the fifth, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and finally B, C, D, E, F. That brings us back to the F, closing the circle. This is the order of sharps. Now, what about flats? Well, actually it's very simple. We can just read the circle counterclockwise. So from the opposite side, B, E, A, D, G, C, F. While on the opposite, sharps were F, C, G, D, A, E, B, starting from F. Alternatively, we can figure it out the flat order by starting from the last note in the sharp sequence, that is the B, and counting ascending fourths instead of fifths. So, for example, let's do it now. We will have, with a fourth interval, B, C, D, E, E, F, G, A, then A, B, C, D, then D, E, F, G, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, F, G, A, B. That's the last series. And just like before, you see that the circle closes. Now it's on the counterclockwise. Now that you understand, that you know how to get the right order of sharps and flats, now you can just understand how do you determine the actual key. So for sharps, just look at the last sharp in the key signature and raise it by half a step. For flats, actually, is slightly different. Look at the second to last flat that tells you the key directly. Let's try a few examples. For example, this score has 3 sharps in the key signature. So if we start from the G, that is G sharp, now what should we do? Yes, that's correct. We need to get the last G sharp, raising it by half step, that gives us an A because it's getting higher. And then eventually we will have our key signature, that is A major. And this is of course for 3 sharps. Let's do an example with 3 flats. With 3 flats we have B, E and A that are flats. We have to look for the second to last flat. That means that the key of this score is, we have first of all B, then the E that is the second, and then the third that is the last one. So the E flat will be the second last one, right? So this piece will probably be E flat major. But why do I say probable? Because it might also be a minor key, right? So How do we know if it is minor? Well, first of all, in the case minor, we are going down a minor chord, which is 3 semitones, because it is a minor chord. So in this case, E flat major, the relative will be C minor. Let's just do one last example that could be a little bit tricky. So we have, for example, only one sharp or only one flat in our key signature. So in the case of sharps, we only have one sharp, that is F, and we are gonna raise it by half step and gives us G major. Easy, very easy. But let's see now flats. We only have one flat, that is B. What's the second last flat? In this case, you need to remember our previous clock. If it was the second last flat, what would have been our second last one flat? Before the B, there was the F. So in this case, even if it's not written on the score, but now I want to make it easy, in this case, we are gonna check what is the second last one flat that is not written, that is F, and it will be our key signature, F major. And now the second step. So the second step is to observe and understand which are the first and last notes of a piece. And they will confirm, those notes will confirm the key. Of course, this is valid if the piece is not gonna change the key signature in the middle of the piece and changing so to a final different key signature. So for example, let's start with the example of A major, 3 sharps. At the beginning, we are gonna start with some notes that probably belongs to the A major scale, and probably at the final chord would be a major triad of A, C sharp, and E. And then the third step that is very helpful is to understand, is to be sure about the harmony of the piece. But in this case, you really need the full score of the piece. From the first 2 steps, you should already be able to understand the key signature, but if you still have some doubts, you should check the whole score with all the instruments, and you should verify which are the main modulation. Now the fourth step is to identify which are the main modulations that are gonna lead you from one key to another in the same piece. So in easy words, how can I identify a modulation? So very often in a piece, composers don't really specify if there is a key signature change, because maybe it's just for a few bars. It's very often in pop music or modern music, we don't want to write too many key signatures. We will just see some accidentals appearing in the music, in the score. And it was also in the past like this, but if you notice new sharps or flats that weren't in the original key, that should be a clue that the piece has maybe a modulation in that specific bars. So every time that you see this kind of modulation, that they are called accidentals, well, that is a very, very strong clue that there is a modulation right there. If you found this video helpful, please hit this like button down here and share it with someone who might need it. I remember you that this video is part of a full trumpet course that is available on my website www.corsoditrombo.com, designed for trumpet players looking to improve their skills. Whether it is for beginner trumpet players or for advanced trumpet players, there are a lot of exercises in this video course. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. You can also support the channel in different ways. For example, you can donate with this heart button down here thanking us, or maybe you can become a YouTube Premium member to access to exclusive contents. You can have access to behind the scenes vlogs or advanced tutorials, or even have lessons directly with me through WhatsApp. We can have some video lessons. In general, you can see whatever that I'm doing behind the scenes and how I support the channel, creating videos, and how I do my concerts and all this stuff, all the background scenes. Have a great day, keep making music, and see you in the next video. Ciao!